All right, guys, welcome back to the Marcus and Mike Show. Like I said, I am Mike at mbuck41 on the Twitter machine. Man over here to my left is Marcus at Marcus the Freak on the Twitter machine as well. If you guys are not following us on Twitter, do so. It'll be fun to watch. Uh, I post some rants every now and then. Marcus posts some sports stuff, and just it's fun to interact with you guys from time to time. I like as well. As you see below here, you can see all that. Follow us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Speaker Breaker, Castbox, etc. All the fun stuff, all the podcast formats. We are out there and we are loving life over there. So before the break here, Marcus, we had a little technical difficulties, but we'll figure that out, and we got it figured out because I am IT God. Let's be honest here. In the end, but speaking of gods, KD did get hurt. Wednesday night was it? Yeah, Wednesday
Yeah.
night. He got hurt. He suffered a calf strain. They didn't give me a grade 1, grade 2, or grade 3, but he will miss the remainder of the Houston series, which is only 3 days. So
Right.
just like what Marcus alluded to earlier in the show here, he will probably miss game 1 if they make it to the Western Conference Finals. But
Right.
tonight is game 6 in Houston. Houston is a 60% favorite in this game, 60% chance to win with the 7-point favorites. I like as well. So who do you got winning this one tonight?
I got Houston winning, and it should be. I hate to say this even about the Warriors, but Houston should be so hungry, just like Portland was, just like Philly was at home, to not let in front of their home folks not go out like that.
Right.
Houston should win this thing by 10, 15 going away. Um, and that's that's a tough thing to say because I mean, look, Golden State's Golden State. I mean, they lose Kevin Durant, but they still have Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, and Draymond Green, and Andre Iguodala, who was a Finals MVP in 2015. Yeah, they're a little older, but as soon as KD went out, it was kind of fun to watch Golden State a little bit. It was
Yeah.
like the Golden State that was a regular great team and not the super team when Kevin Durant showed up and made the whole thing unfair. There was a little bit more motion in their offense. Draymond Green became a little bit more intricate and more alive with what he does. He's the facilitator more so than Stephen Curry is. Stephen Curry lives a lavish life of almost being like a point guard, two guard, combo guard. He doesn't have
Yeah.
to get everybody involved all the time. That's Draymond Green's job to do. And listen, Draymond Green relished that situation when KD went out. I mean, he's called Kate. This is why Kevin Durant's leaving, by the way. He's actually yelled at Kevin Durant, "We've won without you," and he's called him a punk. Think about that for a second. You know Kevin Durant's psyche, right?
Yep.
You know that he can't even take eighth graders, Michael. He can't even take eighth graders getting mad at him online, right? So you mean to tell me he's gonna sit back and let Draymond Green, hey, we won without you, and you're a punk? He's gone. So I think the Warriors know that already. So this is a big deal tonight and for the next couple of games. The big game is on Sunday. I think it's a slam dunk. Houston wins tonight. Because let me tell you something. If they don't, um, that would be absolutely terrible for the Houston Rockets, Daryl Morey, and that organization. If they could not beat Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets tonight at home, I mean, excuse me, without beat the Golden State Warriors without Kevin Durant at home, that would be monumental, terrible. That's like almost riot situation. Um, Chris Paul has to be so much better than 3 or 14.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy needs to wake up. James Harden needs to be James Harden, and Eric Gordon's been as steady as they come. But there was a couple of plays. I mean, I don't know who's Chris Paul. I don't know who's taking his identity, who's in his body. There was a couple of plays Wednesday night where Chris Paul got in the lane and he should have scored the basketball. And the old Chris Paul, the Clipper Chris Paul, the New Orleans Chris Paul would have scored. He gets in the lane and he's looking to throw it out to a 3-point shooter. Dude, score the 2 points. He threw it out to a 3-point shooter and they were missing 28-foot shots. It's ridiculous basketball. Not necessarily that the three pointers are ridiculous. It's the fact that people are substituting twos for threes. Like, Chris, get in the lane and score. 3 shots he made all game. That's not Chris Paul. And that has got to change. Otherwise, the Rockets would go home tonight if that doesn't change. And then game 7, that's going to be a barn burner. I mean, I've got Philly, Toronto in a close game 7. I've got Houston and Golden State without Kevin Durant in a close game 7. Um, I think Houston could win this series. If of course obviously Kevin Durant's not there. I think this is Houston's time to
Hmm.
shine, and they got a gift from the basketball gods for Kevin Durant just to be out a week. And so you have to take advantage of this opportunity, Michael. And if the Rockets don't take advantage of this opportunity, wow, I think that that would be incredible to me. So that because that would what that would say is Rockets could not even beat the Warriors, the old Warriors, the 2015 Warriors. And I don't mean with all the Warriors depth that they had in 2015, they don't have that depth anymore. But at the end of the game, you're going to see the same 4 players on the court that you saw in 2015 that you'll see tonight in 2019. And if the Rockets can't beat that, then they need to do something. They need another player. They need to shake things up. But I have the Rockets winning this series because Kevin Durant is out. Rockets win this series in Game 7 on Sunday. They win tonight easily, and they win Game 7 in a close game.
I've been going back and forth on this, and I was going to follow foot your footsteps here, pick Houston to win tonight, pick Houston to destroy them tonight. But what you said about Draymond Green, turn the tides for me, 100%. Draymond Green, he is going to be hungry tonight. He is going to want to show KD that we don't need you anymore, and they're going to be back to the old Golden State ways without KD, and they're going to go out there and they're going to absolutely thump Houston tonight. It is going to be so ugly that Chris Paul is going to fake another hamstring injury, and just it is just going to be like I told you so. Like I told you we don't need you. You are a punk. Just take your little calf strain that you have, suck it up, and heal it heal it in the Eastern Conference. We don't want you in the Western Conference anymore. No way, no how. And
Man,
Draymond's going to come out with a chip on his shoulder like his Michigan State days, and he's just going to destroy it. And it's going to be lights out. They're not going to be able to miss the shot. It's going to be ugly for Houston tonight. You swung my way
man,
for me because of what you said about
if
Draymond, and I'm jumping on that train.
Michael, if that happens, it's a riot in Houston if they lose tonight. I'm telling you right now, the they'll end up egging the cars, the players' cars. It'll be horrible. And tonight be interesting to watch. Clint Capella has almost been a non-factor in this series, but since Kevin Durant's out, they're going to play Kevin Looney more. The Warriors will, and that'll bring Clint Capella back in to this series. And Clint Capella, they're paying him like 80-90 million dollars. He's been garbage. It's almost like Clint Capella. The game's too fast for him. But now with Kevin Looney now playing minutes instead of Durant, Clint Capella will be inserted back in this series, and Clint Capella should be a major factor tonight and in Game 7 going up against Kevin Looney.
Like we've been hyping up Game Sevens all night, and there's a lot of background noise. Definitely apologize about that. But
Yeah,
what was I going to say here? There's
all
not
the
going to
Game
be
Sevens tonight, all the
there.
Game Sevens.
There's not going to be three Game Sevens. There's only going to be two because Golden State's going to win tonight in Houston. Houston's going to fire their coach. They're going to boo James Harden. James Harden's going to ship out of town. Chris Paul is going to make some more State Farm commercials and hang up his shoes. He is done after this season. After they
I mean,
lose tonight, like
what,
Rockets are going to go. They're going
I
to
mean,
explode tonight.
what? Yeah, I mean, if that happens, that's amazing to watch. That's why this is must see TV tonight. I mean, what if Chris Paul lays another egg tonight? What do you do with him? He's 33 years old. He signed a big long term deal with a bunch of money. I mean, he's getting paid more than a bunch of great players. I mean, that still are productive and getting you 20 and 8 every night. I mean, it's going to be amazing to watch Houston offseason if they don't find a way to beat Golden State. Even if they win tonight and they lose Game 7, Houston offseason will be very interesting.
I definitely concur. I mean, if they cannot beat a wounded Golden State team, because think about this, um, Curry and somebody else has a sprained ankle. Curry has a dislocated finger that they popped back in game 2, so he's still injured by that.
Yeah, Klay Thompson too.
Yeah, Clay Thompson. Cousins is out for the rest of the. Actually, I saw a tweet saying that he's trying to make it back by the final. I don't even know how that's possible, but if he comes back, like he's still out, Katie's out, like everything's lined up for Houston to win. And
Right.
with that being like last year, everything was lined up for Houston to win. They were quote a hamstring away from beating the Warriors last year, and this year they're down an
Hey,
ankle or two ankles, a calf, and a quad, and they're still going to lose. So
hey, the past four
it is
years,
time to blow up
Michael,
Houston.
the past 4 years has been lined up for Houston, and they haven't taken advantage of it. The 3 years ago, a couple years ago, excuse me, they lost Game 6, without to the Spurs without Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden keeps on, doing his disappearing acts. He kind of did one in the fourth quarter the other night, with only taking one shot, like an 8.5 minute span. So everything always lines up for Houston. And when are they going to take advantage of it? You're saying they're never, or they're not going to take advantage of it tonight. I'm saying that they will take advantage of this finally and get over the hump and beat the Warriors. But wow, if what you say is correct, yeah, they're going to blow that thing up.
And let me make this clear. Like I'm not blaming the players by any means. Like I think they have a really good team orchestrated together. Sorry about all that background noise, but people want to talk and chit chat or whatever. But like I think they have a good foundation of a team put together. But their ISO offense that they run, their 57 threes they shoot every game, like that just doesn't work in the playoffs. It is a great regular season. Hey, uh, Harden had what the 32 game streak of 30 plus points. Awesome.
Right.
What has that got you in the playoffs? It's going to be another second round exit to Golden State Warriors losing again. It is time to
Yeah.
clean the coaches out. Get
Yeah, what's amazing, you're 100% right, Michael. The If you ever looked at James Harden and Stephen Curry's numbers for that matter,
yeah.
their regular season numbers, those two players, are better, not sometimes significantly better than their playoff numbers. In the playoffs, it slows down. You get more calls. The game, you get less calls. The game's
Yeah.
a little bit more rough. And James Harden's numbers go down in the playoffs, just like Stephen Curry's numbers go down.
Well,
Um,
I saw a crazy stat where he has taken what was it, 47% less foul shots in the like per game in the playoffs versus the regular season.
yeah,
And what was it, game one or game two when he shot the three and he kicked his little his ankle
yeah,
out trying to get the foul
right.
at the end of the game. The regular season he would have got that call
You would have got
and
that call.
they would have won that game. Playoffs, that's not happening. Now that brings me to another point here. Do we have to question the officials? Like, why are you calling that in the regular season, but you're not calling that in the playoffs? Like, why is that? Like, isn't a foul in week one the same as week 16?
Right.
I mean, like, so I think the NBA has to address that a little bit.
Yeah.
Call it
It,
more
it's
like the playoffs all the time.
yeah, you're right. I'd rather see playoff calls in the regular season or not playoff non-calls in the regular
Yeah,
season. That's been happening in the NBA since as long as I've been watching the NBA.
yeah, same here.
The refs let a lot of stuff go in the playoffs. Back in the day they would let more contact go underneath in the playoffs than they would the regular season. That's been happening for a long time. Now it's extended out to the 3-point line. So the refs are letting stuff go more, you're right, than in the regular season. But yeah, 3 Game 7s, amazing. And then I think the Rockets win, and we'll talk about
Game
this
seven.
plenty of times, but I'm no fan of the Rockets. I just hope they do America solid and beat the Warriors. But I don't see the Rockets beating I don't see the Rockets beating the Nuggets especially the Nuggets or Portland. And I definitely what you were just talking about, that ISO ball, that cannot work. There's no way they beat Toronto or Milwaukee with that offense, with
No,
ISO and
because
James Harden shooting.
their defense is that well. Yeah,
No
their
way.
defense is that good.
Yeah.
Um, Kind of off topic here, but let's say you are right and Houston does beat Golden State in Game 7 on Sunday night. Does the winner of the NBA championship this year have an asterisk by their name because the Warriors were not full strength?
No, absolutely not. No, the injuries happen all the time. Injuries are part of the game. I mean, in 2015, you could put an asterisk on the Golden State Warriors because Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love couldn't play, and they
Right.
they played against LeBron James and his minions. I mean, they may as well throw me and you out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think Shumpert was like maybe the second best player. I mean, it was just bad for
Who?
LeBron. And LeBron took by himself took the Golden State Warriors in 2015 to 6 games. So
Me
yeah,
and
I mean,
Mike.
I would,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to even go back further, I'm an NBA historian. The 1989 Detroit Pistons beat the Los Angeles Lakers with a starting backcourt of Terry Teagle and David Rivers. It wasn't Magic Johnson and Byron Scott; they were hurt. But nobody cares about that. Nobody remembers
Right.
that about that. It was Isaiah Thomas, and the Detroit Pistons are two-time champions. So injuries are part of the game. It happens, and so be it. There'll be no asterisks on this. Golden State still has a really good team, even minus Durant. Durant made them a super team. Now they're just a regular great team. There's no excuses for Golden State either. By the way, if you want to look at the flip side,
Yeah.
you got the people consider this the greatest backcourt of all time. I don't, by the way. I think they're top five. But you have, allegedly arguably the greatest backcourt of all time. Then you've got Draymond Green, who's an all-star facilitator, who's like the jack of all trades. And then you've got Andre Iguodala, who's, yes, he's on the back end of his career to say the least, but he's a former Finals MVP, and that guy can turn the clock back in Game Sixes and Game Sevens. He doesn't have to be steady all season. They signed Iggy like a $33 million contract last year. So Andre Iguodala is getting paid like an all-star. So Golden State has no excuses either. They can't say, oh, Kevin Durant's out. No, you're still trotting 3 all-stars out there in a Finals MVP. There's no excuses for the Warriors either.
And you guys, you heard it there first from Marcus the Freak. Be sure to follow him on the Twitter machine. But guys, possibly 3 Game 7s on Sunday afternoon, or starting Sunday afternoon, ending later in the night, obviously, with the last game starting. It looks like 8 o'clock right now is what it's slated for. And the other game is still to be announced, obviously. That was the Nuggets game. That was the to be announced time. So it could be early in the morning or late afternoon. Who really knows? I think it's depending on the Houston series if it goes Game 7 and when that falls in that TV time slot here. But
Right.
if you guys missed it, Marcus and myself both have home teams winning Game 7 for sure. Marcus has Houston winning tonight big, right? You have them winning big tonight.
Yeah, I think they need to show America that they need to show America and Golden State that, hey, you're out Kevin Durant. This is our time now. We're going to take advantage of it. Because if they don't, it's riot time in Houston.
And I'm on the exact opposite side of that coin. I think Warriors win big tonight. Draymond Green's going to be pulling his antics, flexing his muscles, and carrying the team on his back. Show Katie that he doesn't need him no more. Get out of town, boy. But guys, with that being said, thank you for joining us on today's show. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, you're on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, all the podcast forums. Thank you for listening. Be sure to follow that podcast and leave us a ranking as well. Be highly, highly appreciated. Marcus, any closing thoughts before we head out?
No, I just can't wait to watch these games this Sunday. I think there's going to be 3 Game 7s on Sunday, which is absolutely amazing. I predicted 4 Game 7s, but the sorry-ass Celtics disappeared. But I think we're going to have 3 Game 7s, and that's exactly the way I thought. We knew this second round was going to be must-see TV, and it is, because 3 Game 7s on Sunday is amazing. You think it's going to be 2 Game 7s, which is still amazing, actually.
Yeah, it's
to have
still
2 Game 7s on
Sunday.
Sunday.
Fun to watch.
Yeah, still going to be a great day regardless of what happens tonight. So we'll look forward. We'll talk more Monday and about the Eastern and Western Conference Finals.
Let me check my time real quick here. Yeah, it's not March. It is May. So 3 Game 7s. This is March Madness in May if this happens on
Right.
Sunday. It's going to be great. We'll catch you guys Monday afternoon, 2:30 Eastern time. What is that? 11:30 Pacific, 10:30 Pacific. Whatever. You know how it is. We'll catch you guys Monday. We out.